Chuck, we are live.
Excellent. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our forum to speak about career and technical education in the Tucson Unified School District. My name is Chuck McCullum, and I am the program coordinator for Tucson Unified School District's Career and Technical Education Program. With me tonight is a group of outstanding folks, teachers, administrators that can speak to you and your student in the benefits of taking career technical education courses. I'm going to take a moment and introduce them. First, Pam Dominguez. Pam is the computer science teacher at Santa Rita High School. Stacy Safoff will represent Mexican American Student Services as well as the other equity departments and talk tonight on how they can help your student be successful, not only in CTE, but in their regular classes as well. Carl Oxnam, who is our professional development and academic trainer. He's going to talk a little bit or answer your questions tonight a lot about certifications and CTSOs. Dale Pelton. Dale Pelton is the automotive technologies teacher at Rincon High School and has a lot of experience in the dual credit areas that his class takes part in. Next, we have Vonda Perez, another professional development and academic trainer. She'll talk a little bit tonight on technical skill assessments. And next to her is Lisa Wood Herminko, who, Lisa's got a pretty special job. She oversees our Intern to Work program, which is our internship program. She is our project technical specialist, deals a lot with our kids out in industry. And then I believe finally is Robert Cruz. He is the college and career readiness coordinator at Pueblo High School and can talk a little bit about why your students need to start thinking about what they're going to be doing in the future. So I think we're ready to get started here.
Thank you so much, Chuck, and thank you for everybody that is watching. We want to remind you that if you're watching us on Facebook, to please put any of your questions on our comments, and we will be reading them live and getting the answers for you. Chuck, let's start with the main explanation of what a CTE program is and the benefits that our students at TUSD can get because of these programs.
Okay, our CTE programs range anywhere from a bioscience and dental assisting, pharmacy tech program, all the way to industrial programs such as automotive technologies, welding, all kinds of different opportunities for your student to take advantage of. The biggest thing about CTE that is special is it prepares kids for the future. It not only gives them a chance to really look at college and career opportunities for them, but it also gives them a chance to even look at direct employment. So whether your student is thinking about, let's just say, going into the medical field, well, completing a bioscience program is going to give them a good stepping stone into a post-secondary program like a medical field. On the other hand, you may want to be an auto technician. Two different avenues that you can take there. The continuation of going on to Pima Community College to finish a certification program, or walking right out of, let's just say, Rincon High School and going right into direct employment, which we have had many students take that avenue as well. It just really gives kids the real life experience that they really need to have prior to making any kind of decision on what they're going to do with their lives after high school. In TUSD, we provide those opportunities. We provide some of the most premier programs in the state of Arizona. We are very proud of our programs, and we've had a lot of success with our students. Right now, we service over 7,000 high school students throughout our district in our programs. And we just see it growing and growing. That's the CTE programs in a nutshell. We'll let the panelists, they can expand on that a little bit in specific areas. So Let's go ahead and move on to our first question.
The first question is going to be for Stacy. Stacy, how can Mexican American Student Services, as well as the other TUSD Student Services Department, help my student be successful in the CTE programs?
All right, great question. So the other student services department, so it's Mexican American Student Services, which I work for. And then we also have African American Student Services Department, Native American Student Services, and Asian American Pacific Student Services. I probably messed that up. And Refugee Student Services. So we're all part of the equity department as a whole, but we're like our own little departments. So basically what our departments can do is we can provide students with that extra layer of support in different ways that they might need, outside of the classroom. So for example, Mexican American Student Services, our department, we host multiple workshops throughout the year, and we also offer tutoring and mentoring services so that we can help students succeed. And we also offer life skill workshops for students in areas like time management and study tips, and more to come in spring of 2021. So that's what we can do.
Great. The next question is about internships. How can my student, can my student do more than one internship? And I think that question is for Lisa.
Okay. It depends. Typically, yes, if they're a senior, quite frankly, they have the opportunity of going right into employment. So that depends on when they get into the opportunity for the internships, what the industry is permitting as far as their age requirement and what that looks like. Now, I have had sophomores come in and have internships. I've had freshmen come in, but there is a strict criteria in regard to what it takes to qualify for an internship.
Okay, on that same subject, on internships, can my student work in my family business and have that count as an internship?
There's a strict criteria in regards to paperwork that we do in order for it to count in regard to the school letter grade. So what we do is we follow that with an agreement with the family member per se, and then they provide certain documentation. That documentation is certificate of liability and workers' compensation, so that we know that the student is safe. There's an agreement that they sign, and they provide kind of a work type of outline. It's not it's more like a work agreement in regard to the experience that they're going to have. And then there's back and forth communication with me and me with the student, as well as wrapping up the internship, which typically runs for 6 weeks at 40 hours a week at minimum wage with an evaluation. So yes, that is an opportunity that we can do because it benefits the student as well as the program as well as the school. So it's a win-win-win situation.
And regarding transportation, who transports my child to the internship site if I'm not able to?
Sure. Well, typically that is the responsibility of the student or the parent, because we are gearing them up for intern to work. And part of being part of the employment is having your own means of transportation. Now, there are times when the bus route serves purpose, and we can provide temporary bus passes for that, for the purpose of work. But then, of course, after that period of time, if they are relying on the bus, then we expect them to to pay for their fees for that. But to get them started and kick started out the door and for it to be successful and easier transition for them, we help. We do not provide transportation.
Thank you so much, Lisa.
Sure.
We're going to move over to dual credit, and these questions are going to be for Dale. Dale, if my student doesn't do well in their PIMA dual credit class, could they count against them when they apply for scholarships?
It shouldn't any more than if they didn't do well in another high school class, okay? Because that's going to count towards their credit on their high school grades, the credits that they are accruing during their high school experience, okay? And of course, they'll still have the chance to retake that class as any college student would for a better or passing grade.
Okay, great. And do parents have to pay for books and tuition if the student is going to take a dual credit course?
All costs are covered, as Ms. Wood said, except for transportation. All of your students' needs will be met for the courses that they are attending.
Thank you, Dale. Let's see, next question will go to Carl regarding certifications, and it's a two-part question. Who pays for the certification?
There we go. I apologize. So let's see, starting with the second question there, who pays for certifications? Well, across the state of Arizona, certifications or licensures are offered, but some districts charge their students to pay that. TUSD has a long tradition that all certifications that we expect our students to take the opportunity to achieve are covered by our federal grant funds. So that's a winner. And the first part of that question again? I apologize.
That was actually the first part is, are licenses the same as certifications?
Well, so we actually, the better term than certifications, which became popular as we started this rise just about 3 or 4 years ago across the board in the district, the proper term is credentials. So it really depends on the program and what industry out there expects for a 17 or 18-year-old student to have. So all of our programs lead to either a licensure or a certification. So the better term is credentials.
Thank you so much, Carl. Now we have a question that it's in regards to the situation that we're living right now, being remotely and hopefully going hybrid very soon. How will the student get hands-on experience once we're going back into a hybrid setting?
That's a great question with what kids are going through right now, which is the remote learning. Right now, CTE teachers are front-loading for the most part with the technical skills that they need to learn through, for lack of a better term, mostly their book learning. Once we return hybrid, then we will spend probably 90% of our time in a lab situation. In other words, Pam and Dale will be in their labs working with their students with all the hands-on stuff they missed during the first part of the year and then trying to get through the rest of the year. So we anticipate that kids will be mostly, if not all the time, in the lab as opposed to just in the regular classroom.
Thank you. Thank you, Chuck. What if my student already knows Adobe Photoshop? Could they test into an advanced class?
Go ahead, Carl.
Well, since that's a kind of Adobe Photoshop is one of the certification opportunities that we do offer. If a student were to try and test in, unfortunately, the way it works is we have a program. They must go through the first and second, if the semesters run, a program is 2 years, for example, some are 3, but they must go from the beginning to the end. So usually we must catch a student before when they're a junior so they can complete the program. if they do have the Adobe certification, let's say it's in Photoshop, what we would then do is push them to complete the other areas of the program suite, such as Adobe Illustrator or Premiere Pro, for example. So the entire Adobe suite is available. So they can't really test out of a class, but we find ways to enhance their opportunities to grow even more.
Thank you so much, Carl. Can somebody, I'm not sure who will be able to answer this question, but just to explain what extended day is and how it relates to CTE.
Okay, I'll jump in on that one. Extended Day is a program that we started a couple years ago, and it started off with a culinary program at Catalina and then has migrated itself into our dental assisting and diesel repair program at Santa Rita High School. CTE programs are very expensive to put in. So what we found out very quickly was we are not able to provide, let's use dental assisting as a example, at all of our high schools. So what we do is we run an extended day program, and it's open to all kids from every high school in our district. They would come over to Santa Rita High School 3 days a week. This year we ran it Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And the students would come over for approximately 2.5 hours. They would be provided dinner. If they did not have transportation, we picked them up and brought them over to the site. And while they were there, the teacher stayed after school and the kids were able to complete the program. The dental assisting program, extended day, and just in general was a very successful program for us. Ms. Dominguez, can you give us an example of a success story from our dental assisting program?
Oh my gosh, I would be so happy to provide that example. So our dental program kicked off last year. That was our first year. And we wanted our seniors at Santa Rita, because it is a 2-year program and last year was the first year, we wanted our seniors to be able to jump on that opportunity for dental assisting. And so they were able to take 2 classes back to back, which would be the equivalent. So they were able to take a 2-year program. This is a one-time only. They took the 2-year program and really worked incredibly hard to complete that program in an entire year. And we had 11 seniors participate in that program last year. Out of the 11 seniors, and keep in mind that not all 11 students have a lifelong passion for dentistry, right? But they did take it and they completed the course. Out of that 11, 4 of them, upon graduation in May, went straight into industry. 2 of them went into internships, and 2 are currently working in orthodontist offices. So it was just a huge success story for these 11 seniors, specifically the 4 that thought, you know what, I actually like this and I'm ready to go for it. And so they are currently starting their careers as, they just graduated in May. It kind of gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. So that's our big success story in our dental assisting program.
That is awesome, Pam. Thank you so much for sharing.
Let me close this question with this. We find that our students, once they complete our programs, really find their passion for what they want to do later on in life. We've had everything from automotive students go into engineering to, like, our dental assisting students go into dental assisting, or even our culinary students go on to post-secondary to become nutritionists. Just being able to provide our students with the opportunity to develop career choices is our main goal. And that is what really pushes our CTE programs. Our extended day allows us to open it up to our entire district and allow them to come to our programs, even though it may not be offered at their home site. Okay.
That's really cool. Chuck, one more question regarding extended day class. If my student takes an extended day class, can they get a reduced schedule with a late start?
Yes. because it's a TUSD, even though, let's just say the student goes to Tucson High, but wants to take the culinary program at Catalina High School, we can reduce their schedule at Tucson High to get them over to Catalina in time. Now, because it's the same school district, it does not count against them as far as the lack of credits go. They would just be actually registered at two sites, Tucson High and at Catalina. And since we're all TUSD, everything works out in the wash. So yes, they can.
Thank you, Chuck. The next question is regarding dual. What is required to be accepted as a PIMA student to take a dual credit class?
Okay, Dale, you want to jump on that one?
I would love to. Every year we have our juniors, excuse me, every year we have our juniors apply for a PIMA A number, an actual student number with PIMA Community College, and that's all they need to apply for the dual credit. Okay, so if they can, we'll normally have our college and career counselors will come aboard with us. In fact, we did it online this year. Yeah, and the students will go with us to the PIMA Community College website, and they will apply as anybody else would to become a college student. And I'll tell you, there's some real pride. I could see it even though we're doing it through Zoom on the faces of the students, real pride when they realize that they are now college students while they are still in high school. So the answer is, all you need is an A number from PIMA. All you need to do is apply.
Thank you so much, Dale. What a great opportunity. I just want to remind all our viewers on Facebook that they can post their questions on our comments, and we will be able to get direct answers from our participants. There's a question for Stacy regarding Mexican American Student Services. Stacy, how can my student request support from your program? Stacy, you're muted. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I forget about that part. So there's a couple ways. We have a department website. So the parent could visit the website and that will have numbers to contact our direct office, to contact our director, if that is what the parent wants to do. So all that information is there. I can also, if a parent emails me, I can put my email in chat, and then I can make sure they are directed to the right person in our department. So we're very accessible.
And I'll jump in there too a little bit. If need be, or a parent is really wanting to get in contact with any of the student services departments, they can call our office and we will direct them to where they need to be, whether it's Mexican American Student Services, African American Student Services. We can get you in touch with whoever you need. Our biggest goal is for your student success, and we will do what we need to make sure that happens.
What is the number that they should call, Chuck?
Hold on a second.
Or maybe Stacy, do you want to give us the website on our chat, and I'll share it on Facebook.
Yeah.
Chuck gets the phone number.
Yeah, I have a website to share, and then I was also going to just post my email in case
Okay.
anyone wanted that. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll also give the website. Okay.
Thank you so much.
And our number in the CTE department is area code 520-225-4652.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck. The next question is again about internships. Do students have to complete their credentials before they are eligible for an internship?
Not always. The credential is often acquired their last year of school. So if it's a junior that I've started to work with, they wouldn't have had that opportunity. Right now, we haven't had the opportunity to get the ASE certifications. Those are offered for our juniors and seniors only because the student ASE certification has an expiration of 2 years, because once they're not a student, then it doesn't really apply anymore. Although it does get their foot in the door with for a lot of opportunities. So to answer your question, no, they don't have to be credentialed initially to get into an internship. although the employer thinks that that's a feather in their cap if they do have a credential. There's different ways that they can acquire those, though. I'm talking particularly about the the ASE certifications, because we have internship orientations going on this week, and I'm right in the midst of those, the first shift of the internships for automotive. But a lot of things happen through the AWS, which is welding, the NIMS, which is precision machine, and some of the other, strong testers. Those are the industries, the industrials that I'm talking about now. So no, they don't need it to get an internship. It's helpful. But then once they get involved and they get started with the opportunity, then they also have their door opened for dealer certification. So not only do they get that, but they get the dealer certification opportunity as well.
Thank you so much. If my children are going to college, why should they take a CTE class?
Okay, Robert or Roberto, you want to answer that question, please?
Yeah, can we repeat it? I kind of heard a little bit of crinkling. I think it was my headphones.
Of course, Roberto, thank you. If my children are going to college, why should they take a CTE class?
Yeah, so definitely there are a variety of different reasons why a student would be interested in taking a CTE class. The biggest reason is that it really gives students the hands-on experience in different fields that they are interested in that can help them move their collegiate dreams forward. A great example of this is I actually in last year had a student who wanted to own his own automotive shop. So one of the things that he's really interested in is how does he become a small business owner, right? And be able to own this on his own. So one of the things that he did was he had his heart set on going to the University of Arizona and went to the U of A, is currently there as a freshman student, and is actually taking classes to get forward to get a biz degree. While he was here with us at Pueblo High School, he actually got his certification in automotive. So he's able to get those ASE certifications from the get-go, be able to start working at an automotive shop while he is also in college working to get the knowledge that he needs to build his own business and have it be successful. So there are a variety of different areas that a student could benefit from. If a student takes a CTE class that is also a dual enrollment class, also helps gain those lunch credits that advance them towards graduation before they've even stepped foot on a university campus. So there are a variety of different reasons why a CTE program would actually be beneficial to any student with us here at TUSD.
Thank you, Roberto.
No problem.
The next question is for Stacy. How do I request a translator for parent meetings with my student's teacher?
I think what you could probably do is you could contact us and we could figure out how we can get a translator there to support the parent for the conference or communication.
Thank you, Stacy. So we have who, if you don't mind raising your hand, who is a teacher? You have Dale, Carl.
Dale, Pam, Carl. Dale and Pam specifically.
So we're going to start with Pam and we're going to go down the list because this question is for all teachers. Pam, what is the most important thing that you want people to know about your class?
Oh my goodness. There's too many important things. How do I narrow it down just to one? Are you kidding me?
We can do a couple.
The biggest thing about my class, and I think it's common throughout all of CTE classes, is that we don't give up. That's just it. We don't give up. We work hard, we dig deep, we get it done. And that's like our personal, well, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I really truly believe that's like a CTE thing. You become this innovative thinker, you think outside the box, and And we really work on that in the classroom. We have a series of professional skills. We have about 9 of them that we really focus on throughout our programs. And in my personal classroom, whether it's this classroom right here behind you or my Santa Rita classroom, I really focus on complex communication, collaboration, thinking and innovation, professionalism, and that initiative and self-direction. And those are the big ones in my classroom, particularly the collaboration, being able to work with a partner, being able to share your ideas, becoming that big thinker and that innovator is huge. Being able to solve those problems while working on that professionalism. And it's kind of fun to watch our students go from, day one entering the classroom to the last day of the program, and their professionalism has just grown so much. And one of the things in my classroom that we did, we won't be doing anymore, I've changed it, but pre-COVID, I would welcome all of my students into the classroom individually by shaking hands at the door. And we would practice our firm professional handshake. Well, obviously, we're not shaking hands anymore, but when we do, and I'm so excited to welcome the students to our physical classroom, we're going to work on our new handshake, which would be your hand over your heart or a slight bow of the head, and working on that new standard of greeting somebody in the professional world. And so I just think, what's the most important thing in my classroom? What's the biggest thing? I really think it's the professional skills that we bring to the table, along with our fabulous curriculum. But we really do get students ready for the workforce.
That is great and so necessary for our kids. So thank you, Pam.
Mhm.
Dale, what about you? Tell us about the most important thing that you want people to know about your class.
I will tell you that we have fun. I am so lucky to teach a subject that is so fun to teach and so fun to learn. Hey, if you're going to own a car, then I've got something to tell you, and it's the one class where you go into where we've got a little something for everybody. Okay. So we start out with our basics in our first year, and we really hope that students will stay with us for 3 years. It's a 3-year program and has very rigid state standards that we teach by. And I really like what Ms. Dominguez was saying about the work standards, right? Our professional standards, as well as our state standards, so that by the time we have our 3rd-year students, Ms. Wood will take our intern candidates and probably turn that into a career for them that they are going to have right out of high school. So this time of year, as we're working on our midterm project, I was just reminiscing with the students. I said, remember how much fun we were having last year when all of your other classes were preparing you for midterms? What were we doing? We're working on midterm projects, and it's where laughing and learning intersect. And that's why I really enjoy teaching what I teach, and what great students we have in our district.
Now I want to go take your class, Dale. I want to go have fun.
Come join us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, one more so we can move on to another topic. Carl, do you want to share your most important thing you want people to know about your class?
So I was a teacher in 2 of our high schools. I'm out of the classroom now, but I think the most important thing is, and you can kind of look by the panel of people who are here and the diversity of areas that we're covering today in our agenda, is CTE classes are a response to industry. Everything we do is because we've heard industry ask for it. We have advisories. All of our programs meet with industry to make sure we're teaching the things that the kids need to know. And if I discuss my section, I'll go into professional skills a little bit more, but that's the whole idea. There are technical skills, academic skills, and professional skills, and CTE brings them all together.
Thank you. Let's see, the next question is regarding dual credit. How can earning college credits while still in high school increase my child's long life earning potential?
Okay, hey, Robert, why don't you go ahead and answer that one?
Definitely. Lifelong earning potential for students. There's a lot of things that go into that, right? So one of the things that we know, research has actually shown that the more education post high school that a student receives, the higher degrees, the larger their median income is going to be expected to be as they go through their education. Even taking as little as some college classes after high school will actually increase that earning potential, right? So because of that, when you are taking CTE classes and dual enrollment classes, right, whether they're the same or not, those dual enrollment classes are actually going to move you forward in your earning potential. One of the things that employers like to see, and I know this because I've had employers share this specifically with me, is that a student is willing to learn, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be an entire degree, but if they can show that they have the willingness to learn new skills, learn new knowledge, and be able to apply it, then the student is more likely to move within a specific corporation or company, right? So with dual enrollment classes, a student has a twofold area where they can really grow. One is really increasing their knowledge and therefore their pursuit of a degree that is going to help them earn more and get higher paying positions. And two, also teaching them, okay, how do I take these college level classes and be able to apply them to my day-to-day, which is really something that we all really try to strive to learn, specifically in our dual enrollment classes here at TUSD.
Thank you, Roberto. Regarding certification.
Can I jump in
Go ahead, Chuck.
I want to finish that up a little bit with what Robert was saying. I'll tell you another quick success story about a student who was at Tucson High and finished the automotive program, went into an internship at Chapman Automotive. The student finished the internship and was offered a direct employment job, which he took. Chapman then also sent him off to, I believe, North Carolina for training. And when you look at the options kids have post-secondary wise, if it's college, yes, a dual credit class is beautiful. Going into direct employment, you'll find that most employers will send you for further training and certification on your own, and possibly even back to Pima College to finish on their dime, which is really important today in today's age because of the cost of post-secondary institutions. Dual credit is free. We pay for it. So that's that's tuition a parent does not have to pay beyond high school once they go into a Pima or even into a direct employment situation.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Chuck. And are these credentials only recognized in Tucson?
Oh, absolutely. I don't think any of them are limited to Tucson, and certainly not even Arizona. These are nationally recognized credentials. For example, our pharmacy tech students take pharmacy tech from the national board. Our dental students take it from the National Dental Assistance National Board. And then, of course, the Adobe certifications. As this has become more and more popular across the country, we have a lot of every program has focused and identified the credential or licensure for that program. In fact, the State Department for Arizona requires that we do have kids advance towards that. Now, not every single one is going to get that ASC patch you get for automotive and that you see when you take your car in for service. Not every kid gets there, but they all have the opportunity to, and that's what we're offering.
Thank you so much, Carl, and thank you, everybody. We're only 3 minutes away from finishing the forum. Chuck, any last information that you would like to share with our viewers, or any questions that you would like to ask the team to close with that?
Yeah, I think the one thing I would like to share with everybody is the diversity of program that we have in TUSD. We have something, and I hate to use this phrase, but we have something for everybody. Whether you want to be in bioscience, whether you want to be in culinary, whether you want to be a home health aide or an automotive technician, your opportunity in the Tucson Unified School District is 10 times more than they are in any other district. I'll be quite honest with you. So with that being said, is there anybody else who would like to end? We only have a few minutes left with one closing thought. Pam, why don't you give us one more example of a success story before we go?
I would love to. I was hoping you would ask. Okay, so our biotech class at Santa Rita, last year, 15 students received U of A credit for their class. And of those 15, 13 of them received scholarships to cover the cost of their tuition, which was really cool. And 100% of the advanced biotech students received their OSHA certification last year. And then diesel, I have a big one for diesel that's happening like now. 100% of the students that applied for diesel internships will be placed this January. And I'm so excited to announce that. So good work, my friends.
And in closing, that's just examples of what goes on a systemic basis in our TUSD CTE program. I could go to each high school and we would hear success stories like this from each of our teachers. We are a premier district. These are premier programs. And I would recommend that if your student comes into a TUSD school, that they look very hard at taking the CTE program that they like. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming tonight. I'd like to thank the panelists and then those that are with us on Facebook Live. Again, we'll be following this up in about 15-20 minutes with our Spanish version. So it was great to have you here, and thank you very much, folks.
Thank you. And remember to visit our website, TUSD1.org, for all the information as well. Thank you so much and have a good night.